This season we had a lot of injuries that we had to overcome, and we slowly had to get back into it. After being injured for a while, you kind of lose touch and all that. It kind of takes some time to get back into it.
After coming off a third-place finish in last year's state competition, Varsity Boys Soccer had high hopes for the upcoming season. Their state hopes became a little farther than reality after 5 out of their 11 starting players suffered from long-term injuries that required them to sit for a majority of the season. In recent years, the competition level of high school sports has increased dramatically and can often result in athletes pushing their bodies to the limits in order to be the best.
You know, it's interesting, as people have specialized in sports, what the typical pattern is when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you start doing club sports more. But some of those folks that have specialized early, those people are a little bit higher risk of having overuse injuries. So we see the tendonitis things, we see the stress fractures. So the other thing we see a lot is burnout. A lot of people, they don't want to go to practice after being at school all day, 3 and 4 hours a day. A recent study came out and said that if you are competing in your one specialized sport more hours in a week than you are age in years. So for example, if you're 14 years old but you're spending 20 hours practicing your sport, your risk of overuse injury increases substantially. So that's kind of a rule I use with my patients.
Injuries can take their toll on dedicated athletes in more ways than just on the physical level.
Long-term consequences are something I think we don't recognize well enough, right? High school athletes identify as athletes, right? So when they have a catastrophic injury, right, where they're missing a season, where they're missing several months at a time, they kind of lose a little bit of themselves. And there's a lot of, mood-based things that happen, a lot of depression that happens because they're not with their team. They're not, participating in the things they like to do.
When I first came out, I was just really pissed because I've been injured quite a bit of times during the high school years. And it was just really annoying coming out after someone just nailing me in the shin and becoming really painful.
Not only do they focus on treatment, Larkin and other doctors in the sports medicine field have been emphasizing the importance of injury prevention to stop these consequences from happening.
What we're trying to preach to our athletes from a very young age is to work on core strengthening. Core and hip, so rear end, pelvis muscles, abdominal muscles, back muscles. If you can make those muscles stronger, you're less likely to get injured, and every study has proven that. Thankfully, high school athletes are young, they heal quickly, and once we get everything figured out and put it back in the right place, they generally do pretty well without much long-term problem.
With the right support system, athletes like Tanner can return from injuries and continue to have successful sports careers.
Just make sure you stay fit, make sure you stretch out, work as a team. Teams are there to support you even if you're injured. Don't be mad or anything, basically.
The way to have longevity and to be an athlete not only in high school but in college and as an adult beyond, playing with your kids in the backyard, is to make sure it's always fun, right? If you're not having a good time, it's not worth it.